The Victorian state election will be held on Saturday, the 24th of November 2018. The Andrews government will be looking to win a second term, but opinion polling indicates they are facing threats from the Liberal Party and the Greens in some areas. With a delicate balance, some challenges may also come from smaller parties, such as the Reason Party and the Animal Justice Party, who are all fighting for seats. All the candidates have been out selling their messages at various functions being held around the state. The Albert Park electorate has had 5 candidate forums to date, one being at the Alex Theatre in St Kilda on the 29th of October, where the Minister Martin Foley attended.
All elections are close. The District of Albert Park has been a marginal seat for 3 elections now, and this election will be no different. That's why we're really keen to put out a positive agenda about how we've delivered on all the commitments that we said we would, but even more importantly, the positive agenda we've got for a better future for not just Albert Park and the surrounding communities, but Victoria.
I think crime's the most important thing. The first job of a government is to look after people's safety. And if I'm elected to government on November 24th, I will certainly make it my priority to look after the safety of business owners and residents here in St Kilda. Other things we intend to do for St Kilda is we're finally going to resolve that mess that has been the St Kilda Triangle for the last 20 years. We're going to build a park over the top, we're going to create more open space in St Kilda, we're going to put the car park underground, and we're going to work with the community on what that park looks like.
You have to remember that the government is only there by a very slim majority. And it's very likely, like I said, that the Greens will be in a balance of power position. In instances like that, you have to work collaboratively together. There are important opportunities to get outcomes on a widespread of issues that are important to the community, important to the Greens and whoever we form government with.
Everything we do is with only human interests in mind, but everything we do affects everyone of every species, not just the humans. I believe in the empathy, the natural empathy of human beings, and I think that will factor into their decision making if they start feeling that they're part of a multi-species world where everyone matters. It'll start to change their decisions, which will impact on animals, which will impact on our environment, which will impact on their health, all in positive ways.
The current war on drugs approach has failed. We should treat drug dependence as a health issue, not a criminal justice issue. It's an international problem, but if I can do some good as a candidate locally, I would love to do it, and I'd like to actually get some reform in this area because the evidence is in. We know what to do, and we know how to tackle drug dependence and antisocial behaviour associated with drug dependence. It's just having the candidates in Parliament so that they're actually able to do something.
The Labor government believes it's got things right in the last 4 years and intends to build on its successes.
Every election in the District of Albert Park for many years now has been about tight contests, about a handful of votes. That's why we've got to not only deliver on the commitments that we said we would, which we more than have, but equally present a positive plan for the future around public transport, around undoing the planning mess that we inherited in Fisherman's Bend, about amenity for the local community, about education and support that we need to bring to all of our community, whether that be 3-year-old kinder, expansion of primary and secondary school options and post-school options, whether it be free TAFE or the soon-to-be emerging Melbourne University engineering campus in Fisherman's Bend. It's all around how do we build for a positive future.
Apart from 70 new schools, 1,300 will be fixed and families will be helped in covering the cost of uniforms, books, camps and excursions. Continue to build local, buy local and hire local. Make TAFE free, build the Metro Tunnel, first class and free hospitals in health and a fast response in an emergency. Deliver better healthcare for Victorians, cut stamp duty to help first home owners, invest in renewable energy to provide cheaper power and address family violence. So what are the policies from the other parties and why do they think they are creating competition for the government?
Look, there's no doubt the biggest issue in St Kilda at the moment is crime. There's a certain element of the community that no longer feels safe living in St Kilda. I've been contacted by many businesses and many residents who are telling me that they're prepared to pack up and leave St Kilda. It's gotten that bad over the last couple of years. I think everyone would agree the homeless situation in St Kilda is unacceptable at the moment, and it certainly has gotten worse. You only have to walk along somewhere like Fitzroy Street, even Ackland Street nowadays, every morning, and you'll see people sleeping in doorways, sleeping on the footpath. It's a situation that is totally unacceptable and certainly needs to be addressed by the government.
The Liberal Party will be tackling Victoria's crime wave by taking a zero tolerance approach to crime, ensuring a smarter and healthier Victoria with better schools, greater choice and more opportunities. There are 27 reforms and changes for getting Victoria moving, such as no tolls on the Eastern Freeway, high-speed rail for Victoria, and a Victorian concession energy discount offer. For more vibrant cities and regions, there are 58 changes, including reviewing community arts event and festivals promoting funding, legislating to guarantee the rights of CFA volunteers and strengthening the volunteer charter. Introduce a Royal Commission into Victoria's fire services. See all the details on the website.
People are more and more interested in Greens policies and interested in supporting the Greens and their policies, which quite frankly are so important for our future. Addressing climate change, which is that big existential threat that hangs over us, addressing issues around housing affordability, issues that people in the rental market are facing. Greens policies are there for the people, for our community.
The details of the Greens policies are available on their website and include reforms and changes to transforming transport, trains not tolls, protecting our forests, 100% renewable energy, a home for all, politics for the public good, justice for Aboriginal Victorians, improvements for health and hospitals, early education, schools and TAFE, build communities not prisons, caring for young people, fix the waste crisis, love nature, protect nature, reduce harm from gambling, livable communities, animal protection, regional Victoria, economic wellbeing and jobs, and how the Greens will fund their plans.
Processed meat has been classified by the World Health Organization as a major Class 1 carcinogen to humans. Environment, we have the acidification of oceans, the Great Barrier Reef. We have a renewable energy policy that is animal friendly. Because again, we don't think about it. We think about renewable energy as it suits humans, but we don't think about the impact of what we're creating and on habitat or on other species. Land clearing is another one. That's an environmental one. Animal agriculture is responsible for 51% of carbon emissions.
The Animal Justice Party's policies can be broken down into 3 key areas: animals, environment and humans. Animals include farming and related topics such as human diet, climate change and marine animals, companion animals, live animal exports and animal experimentation. The environment includes climate change, natural gas and wildlife. Humans include plans for animal law, biosecurity, cultured meat, economy, education, employment, family violence, gun control, health, human diet and animals, international affairs, law, social justice, mental health and population. See the website for further details.
I want to bring a comprehensive suite of policies and a renewed focus on evidence-based violence prevention initiatives and reducing drug-related harms. So that would involve ensuring greater early intervention programs in place so we can identify youth at risk, comprehensive services within the community. So I'm in favour of a safe injecting facility in St Kilda.
The Reason Party policies are clearly listed on their website. Treat drug use as a health issue, not a criminal issue. Major investment in mental health interventions and support. MPs required to act in the public interest. Religious organisations transparent about their activities. Investment in small business and innovation. A modern approach to adult industries. A plan for our ageing population and its economic implications. Increasing housing affordability. Reduce homelessness and greater protection for the vulnerable. A plan to achieve energy emission targets while sustaining energy affordability. protect the environment while sustaining the economy, increase the health of all children and accessible public health for all, improve transport, directly address discrimination, infrastructure to keep up with population growth, promote responsible gambling, improve interconnected and safer walking and cycle paths, and greater diversity and stimulation across the arts. The outcome of the 24th of November election will depend on the candidates getting their message out to the community and what the community wants the government to focus on for the next term and beyond. Their final words?
If people think that animal cruelty should come to an end, then they have to vote for us, because we are the only party dedicated to ending animal cruelty. Other parties have animal welfare considerations, but it tends to be a reduction or a justification. It's not an end to it. And we believe that for humans to flourish and to have a flourishing environment, we have to allow other species that same right to flourish.
The current war on drugs approach has failed. We should treat drug dependence as a health issue, not a criminal justice issue. It's an international problem, but if I can do some good as a candidate locally, I would love to do it, and I'd like to actually get some reform in this area, because the evidence is in. We know what to do, and we know how to tackle drug dependence and antisocial behaviour associated with drug dependence. It's just having the candidates in Parliament so that they're actually able to do something.
Currently, and we see particularly in seats like Albert Park, that are a close three-way race for three political parties, Labor, Liberal and the Greens. We see announcements in order to encourage people to vote for those political parties. The Greens have been the only ones that have been saying that we won't make piecemeal announcements, that we will look at the big picture and have a long-term vision for Victoria, which is a long-term vision which exceeds just the political cycle, which is the cycle that we're seeing decisions being made in currently.
What I'm going to do is make St Kilda safer. I'm going to introduce CCTV to certain areas that haven't had CCTV before. We'll give the police the tools they need to adequately respond to incidents here in St Kilda, and to allocate resources, and also to gather evidence, which is really important for the police to ensure that the people who are committing the crimes are not able to do so into the future. We're going to increase the open space in St Kilda with our plan for the St Kilda Triangle. Put the car park underground and put open space over the top.
The future of Albert Park is in the hands of the community of Albert Park. What we need to do is invest in growth, invest in the services that families and communities need, and deliver on the important areas of education, public transport and community amenity. The people of Albert Park are looking for more than just a great lifestyle. They're looking for a fair, decent and sustainable community. And that's the promise that the Labor government, and I in particular, are determined to achieve.